afternoon. It's the Pit Stop. Welcome to this weekly's show of the Pit Stop here coming up. And it's an interesting week as well. Yeah, no racing going on this weekend in the IndyCar or NASCAR circuit. So get an off week, a rare off week from everything, at least in those two circuits out there. Hey, you're watching the Pit Stop. It's your weekly racing show focusing on IndyCar and NASCAR. Of course, I'm Stephen McCollum, and every week we look back at racing last weekend. We look at the news around the sport, and generally we look ahead to racing coming up this weekend. Well, like I said, with IndyCar off this weekend, well, we're not doing anything. They're not racing again. 11 more days here, or 10 more days or so here coming up. The racing at Portland coming up. August 9th is their next race. IndyCar's off, and then the Truck Series will be off after that, and then we're at Iowa for the Truck Series. So no look ahead this week. That'll be next week's show, which next week's means no look back in racing. So kind of a weird kind of a time to be around, but NASCAR works very hard. IndyCar works very hard. They deserve a full weekend off out there. Of course, you can watch the show on demand on YouTube. Just go to TME Media AZ is the page where it's at. Or you can find us on Rumble if you're not a YouTube fan. Rumble.com/user/TME Media is where you can find all of our programming there on Rumble. When you load it up, the page with the videos show up. Right above that, you'll see a live and a channel button. Click on the channel button, and you can click on whatever show you'd like to look at videos there, including the Pit Stop there on Rumble. We're on Rumble because one of our shows here at TME Media is only on Rumble, and that'd be The Real Matrix. So we just take advantage of it, get all of our shows up there, and we appreciate those of you that do catch us over there as well. Now you can also find this show on your favorite podcast system, Apple, Google, Spotify, out there, iHeart, Parchaser. I'm probably forgetting a few of them. Just search the Pit Stop with Steven. It'll pop right up. The channel's actually under the Pit Stop Talk is where you can find that. And so find us there. Join the conversation as well, right there with the shows. And then also, don't forget to follow the show on X. That's right, the Pit Stop Talk. Join the conversation there as well. And let us know during the races on the weekends, the news, is there's a lot of news out there around the sport here in the last week or so that we'll get you updated on as well. And as I said, later in the show, we usually look ahead to this weekend in racing. Bit weird. Yeah, IndyCar's off. All three NASCAR series are off. Well, we got tons of news coming your way later on. And, of course, we're about to look back at the NASCAR races at the Indianapolis area last weekend. Of course, O'Reilly and Cup Series were at IMS, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Truck Series, well, they went over to Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park to get their race in last weekend. Let's get it started. Let's look back at the races, and we'll start with the Truck Series here as well. Now, Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. It was so dominated by Lane Riggs in this truck race. Well, they almost renamed it Lane Riggs Raceway Park about halfway and toward the end of that race. It was a dominant showing. And I had to watch this race after the fact. I knew Lane Riggs had won. I was told he was won. And I was reading a lot of stuff on it, and it was how dominant he was. Man, nobody does it justice compared when you watch that race and how dominant Lane Riggs was there in Indianapolis. Now, he's very close, Lane Riggs is, to capturing the regular season championship after this race. It's kind of cementing it. How dominant was he in this race? He led 198 of the 200 laps in this truck race. He swept both stages, and he took the checkered flag 1.148 seconds ahead of the competition. That's how dominant he was, folks. It was an amazing race to watch. Let's check it out. Truck 1, white flag lap here for Lane Riggs. And Lane Riggs is the 34 car, if you're not sure which one he is here. Let's get started with Truck 1, please.
Whoa. And you see the white flag right there. Final lap of this race. Chandler, Smith back behind him in fourth. Ty Majeski, Connor Mozak, those boys have been battling it out, but nobody has been able to touch the 34 of Lane Riggs. Absolute domination here tonight. Led 198 laps. And here he comes to the checker flag. There he is. Lane Lane Riggs wins it for the 5th time this season.
It looked like he was competitive in that race, but he was coming up on all that traffic out there and everything. So Lane Riggs getting that win. Hey, you lead 198 of 200 laps. Well, we go to you after the race. Truck 2, please. Lane Riggs.
I think they're just statement wins. I mean, man, what a truck. I mean, I was on cruise control there for so much of the race. He kept me honest there at the end. I was honestly, those last 15-ish laps in traffic, I was running as hard as I could, and I couldn't get away from him. I know we had a pretty good gap, so great job on my spotter, Josh. You did a great job today navigating me through traffic. Had that one mishap on the restart, just spun the tires really, really bad. And when you get these tires spinning, they're so hard to recover. So just thank you to guys behind me for not turning me around. I know that easily could have happened. So I'm not sure where Chandler finished. Had a good run for him as well. So he got it. He got it last week. We had to flip the script and do it again this week. But thank you to all of our partners. BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing, BKB 57 in London tomorrow night. Everybody tune in on Vice TV. It's going to be a brawl, as you see on the quarter panel. Ford Racing, all your help. They give us the tools to go fast. And, man, what a race truck. These guys make my job easy. And I think we're just going to keep carrying that momentum and statement win. I think we're the ones to beat for sure. Never.
I love how he's plugging, of course, the boxing match in that element. I mean, that's his job, right? He gets that win as well. Remember the race before, it was him and Chandler Smith battling it out. And Smith was kind of battling for the lead. He did fall back and finish a little farther back there behind Lane Riggs. But, we picked Lane Riggs to win this race and kind of switch it around from the losing to the Chandler Smith the week before. Lane Riggs gets it done. But you heard there in that interview, Lane Riggs, with Fox Sports, of course, you heard Lane Riggs reference his one mistake there. Yeah, it came on lap 72. It was the restart after the first stage break. He chose the top lane there for the restart, which was the preferred lane for these truck guys here at this racetrack. Well, you heard him say he spun the tires, which allowed his teammate, their front row teammate, Chandler Smith, to take the lead for those 2 laps. And then Riggs just took over from there. Afterwards from that point. Let's throw up the finishing order here of the truck race. This will be truck 3 for us as we're talking about this. Domination by Lane Riggs, 198 of the 200. Obviously, Chandler Smith led those 2 there. That as I said, after that first stage, Chandler Smith ended up finishing 4th here in this race. Second was a persistent Connor Mosack in this race. And he was starting to stay up there. That lap traffic and the traffic that Lane Riggs got into in the last, 10 to 15 laps there. You heard him say it there in that interview. Kind of kept Connor close here and wasn't able to get up there and do anything. Ty Majeski finished 3rd in this race. And, of course, I told you, Chandler Smith in 4th. Nick Sanchez there in the 5th spot. Stuart Friesen came in at 6th. Caden Honeycutt in 7th as well for him. And then, other playoff guys. Well, let's finish out the top 10 here. Gavin Broschel there in the A spot. Tyler Ankrum in the 9th. Michael Christopher Jr. rounds out the top 10. So, right, a lot of names we haven't mentioned here, right, that are playoff bound or fighting for a playoff spot. Well, Giovanni Ruggiero finished 13th in this race. Grant Effinger finished 14th here as well. Ben Rhodes in the 15th spot. As we talk about these guys and the kind of how we're looking at the playoff picture here coming up for them, in this race. Christian Eckes, by the way, 33rd here in this race. Daniel Hemrick, 34th as well. Interesting times there. Caution flags, well, 3 for 25 laps. Obviously, stage 1, stage 2 were 2 of those yellows. So 1 caution here in this wrap. And pay attention to that. 3 for 25 laps. We're going to talk about the controversy around NASCAR. I've long thought caution flags take too long. You're under caution for way too long in NASCAR. I've thought that for the last several years. Quite frankly, since stage breaks were put into the racetrack and everything, well, it's become a focal point by a lot of people. We'll talk about that coming up in the news segment here in just a little bit. Throw up truck 4 for me. This is the championship point standings where we are here in the truck series with just 2 races left in the regular season for the truck series. So Lane Riggs obviously clinched the spot along with Caden Honeycutt. We know they both clinched the spot. They've been clinched for a few weeks now as well. 2 races left, though. Riggs has expanded that lead in the standings to 99 points. I mean, it's Lane Riggs' regular season championship to win. Can Caden Honeycutt get it done? Yes. It's going to take kind of a monumental move here and a major issues with Lane Riggs for that to happen, though. Lane Riggs, obviously the favorite to win the regular season championship. Lane Riggs' teammate also, Chandler Smith, there in the third spot, clinched the playoff spot. Christian Eckes did, even though he did not race well here, did finish fourth here, clinched the playoff spot as well. Yes, Gio Ruggiero gets in, clinched his chase spot coming up as well in that fifth spot right now for him. So these rest of these guys with 2 laps to go, I'll tell you this, I think Ty Majeski is mainly safe. He would have to basically almost finish toward the bottom in the next 2 races in order to not qualify. So I'm going to put Ty Majeski in, even though it's not official. He's 81 points above that cut line. Everybody else, Ben Rhodes is favored to go in. He could be upset, but he's favored to go in there in that 7th spot, 43 points above that cut line. Then it comes down to this: Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, and Stuart Friesen. These spots can flip here in one race. They could flip over the 2 races here as well for these guys if they have 2 bad races. So that gives Tyler Ankrum, which is in that 11th spot, Jake Garcia, Andres Perez de Laura, even Brendan Queen kind of in the position. They could flip it. Now, I will say this. Andres Perez de Laura is 42 points outside of the bubble, 43 for Brendan Queen. They have a monumental movement here because it's not just how you run, it's what your competition runs ahead of you. But Tyler Ankrum and Jake Garcia definitely have a chance here to flip a couple of these and get into that 10-person chase bubble here with 2 races to go as well. Now, with his 6th place run in this race, Stuart Friesen broke that tie with Tyler Ankrum for 10th place in the standings. Remember last week they both had the same points going into this race in that 10th and 11th spot. Well, they flipped this week with that 6th place finish by Stuart Friesen, and Stuart has 8-point advantage there over Tyler Ankrum as well. Daniel Hemricks hold on the chase spot. Well, a little bit more question marks here. As I said, he's 14 points above that cut line there in that 9th spot. Yeah, he spun in turn 3 to cause the only caution of the night for an on-track incident. Told you, did not finish well there. So he's 14 points above the line. A little bit more question marks for him. He can't be doing that much longer. He's going to flip underneath and outside of that chase bubble as well. So a lot of movement here on the truck side. Well, Fox Sports, of course, brings us all the trucks racing here this year. And the Truck Series is off until Friday, August 16th. That's right, 2 weeks off for the Truck Series. Only 2 races left, and they get started again here. One of those 2 races is up at Richmond Raceway. So August 16th on Friday night is when we'll next see that Truck Series out there. Now we go from, that racetrack in Indianapolis to over to the big boy, right? The granddaddy of them all, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll look at the O'Reilly Series here now. And with their O'Reilly in the Cup Series, fascinating watching what happened here. These are stabled racetracks. In the terms of the Cup Series, right? That's a crown jewel event, the Brickyard 400. Everybody wants to win that one, and it's a feather in your cap. And in the O'Reilly and Cup Series, 2 new winners for these racetracks. And in the case of the O'Reilly Series, Indianapolis Motor Speedway gave us a new winner who's won for the first time in the O'Reilly Series as well. And look, it also gave us what we expect. Junior Motorsports, right? Well, they continue to dominate their run here in the O'Reilly Series as well. Yes, folks, I picked the wrong Junior Motorsports driver to win last week. Turns out I could have guessed any of the 4, right? With Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain running for them as well. Yeah, Carson Kvapil gets his first win in the O'Reilly Series ever. And boy, was it an emotional win. You want to see just kind of a elation here from Carson Kvapil. Not just him, but other people around NASCAR as well. And then Justin Allgaier finished 2nd, Ross Chastain 3rd, Chase Elliott 4th. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here for Junior Motorsports. Yeah. It was the first 4 drivers sweep in the event of the series history. So not only did Carson Kvapil win his first O'Reilly race of all time, look at the people he hung off. He held off Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain from the Cup Series. He held off Chase Elliott from the Cup Series as well to get that first win for the young driver. And it's fantastic to see, folks. The victory was the 14th of the season for JRM. 6 different drivers. Yeah. The 6 different drivers ties the record for the organization set last year as well. Now, for the 79th straight race, Junior Motorsports placed at least one driver in the top 10, well, tying the record set by RFK Racing from 2008 and 2010. So one more driver, not this weekend, obviously, because they're off, but one more win here and a driver in the top 10. They beat that RFK Racing record coming up here as well. Kind of a little fun side note here with how well the Junior Motorsports team has been running. Let's check out that final lap with Carson Kvapil's first O'Reilly Series win in the history. His history. O'Reilly won, please.
Oh, Justin, send it out. Send it down in there. Didn't close the gap up enough.
Across the short chute, off of turn 4. Here comes Carson Kvapil. Welcome to the club. Carson Kvapil, you are a winner in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He does it at Indianapolis.
Thank you, guys. That's
Incredible.
been a long time coming. Thank you, Rodney. Appreciate it, guys. Hell yeah. This one might make me cry.
he just wrapped it up and he said, I think it's going to make him cry. Stay tuned for that here in just a minute. But I said earlier it was an emotional win for Carson Kvapil. You heard his comments there as well. But let's start first while he's finishing up his cool down laps and doing his burnouts. Let's start with a Junior Motorsports owner, of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on his thoughts. O'Reilly 2, please.
Oh, man. This has been a long time coming. He's like a son almost. You know, you work with these guys for so long, and you work so hard. We work so hard with Josh Berry and all our drivers, and you just want them to have success. And he's got to win to keep going. You got to win if you want to stay in this deal. And man, he got so close. So I'm just so happy for him, for Travis, his dad. His brother, his whole family.
I mean, look at the emotion, right? Get relationships with these young guys. And I mean, what Carson Kvapil's gone through this year, I'll tell you a little bit more about that here coming up as well to get this first win on this series. And you win your first race in the O'Reilly Series, of course, we're going to go back to the CW and we're going to look at you and look at their interview with you after the race. Let's go with O'Reilly 3.
Oh, it means the world to me. Man, I don't know. It's very emotional. I rode around on that lap backwards and just sat there and thought about all the hard work I put in, me and my dad, Travis, to get to this point, and the faith that Dale Jr., L.W. Miller, and Kelly Miller put behind me to give me this opportunity and give me a second chance, I guess you could say, to come back at it this year. So this group of 1 guys with on this wild Chips car is amazing, and I knew we were going to get one, and I'm hoping we can chase some more towards the end. I just can't believe it. It's been a lot of races and a lot of hours to work and building towards it.
I mean, you see the emotion on him, right? Because he is one of those drivers, very talented, not able to get a win here in this series. So not really being looked at to move up into the Cup Series, but also not being able to kind of stay with, a good team in the O'Reilly Series as well to keep it rolling. How kind of an adventure has it been just this year? Well, his current season, it was with 3 different cars and 3 different teams he's been racing with. He raced with the number 1 cars with and number 1 and number 9 cars there with Junior Motorsports. He was over with the 91 team fielded by Mario Grosling for DGM Racing for a couple races this year's also. So he's got the win here. Does this catapult him up a little bit? Gets him a little bit more of a chance again, like you heard him say. They gave him another chance there to get back up into there and get that win. It's just unbelievable story here by Carson Kvapil to get that win, and just who he held off to get it makes it even better type of, and where he did it at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This victory was vindication for Kvapil's determination to sustain a career in NASCAR, at least in the O'Reilly series, and keep it going. He's had a lot of obstacles in his path over the years and not able to get that win. Throw up that O'Reilly 4 is that finishing order here in this. Carson Kvapil, Justin Allgaier, Russ Chastain coming down from the Cup Series, and then Chase Elliott there coming down as well. Those were your 1, 2, 3, 4, of course, Junior Motorsports there. Carson, he led 23 laps in this race. Justin Allgaier led just 4. Ross Chastain led 31 laps here as well. Chase Elliott led none as well. William Saulwich was in the 5th spot. He led 2 laps here for him. Brent Cruz, my favorite young driver, little 18, 19-year-old kid there as well, finished in 6th spot. Corey Day in 7th. Sheldon Creed coming in 8th. Brandon Jones in 9th. Austin Hill finishing up in 10th spot. And a side note, Sheldon Creed finished 23 laps in the lead for him as well, but not getting anything better than that 8th place finish for him as well. Other drivers to kind of pay attention to outside the top 10 playoff-wise, Parker Retzlaff in 11th, Taylor Gray in 12th, Sam Mayer 13th for him as well, Anthony Alfredo in 14th. Then you got Jeb Burton in 15th, and then we finally are getting to Jesse Love here in that 16th spot. Harrison Burton finished 18th for the Burton family there as well. You got Nick Sanchez in 20th. Raja Karuth, if you're watching him, in 22nd spot. Playoff implications in the line here for some of these guys as they're fighting for these final spots here as well for them. Again, it's an interesting situation. Cautions, three cautions for 13 laps in this one. Stage cautions and then a regular one in this as well. One non-caution that wasn't a stage break for this racetrack. I thought these were fun races this weekend. Let's do up O'Reilly. Let's see here. O'Reilly 5 here for the championship points, please. And now we got 7 of the 12 positions for the chase in the O'Reilly series are filled. Justin Allgaier, of course, clinched a long time ago. He's already clinched a regular season championship a long time ago as well. Carson Kvapil there in 2nd place now with that 751 points. He passes Jesse Love here to get into that 2nd spot. But both Kvapil and Love are both clinched into the chase. Sheldon Creed clinched this weekend there in that 4th spot. Corey Day clinched in the 5th spot. Then you got Brandon Jones and Austin Hill. Both of them clinched as well, 6th and 7th spot after the weekend in racing. That leaves Sammy Smith, Parker Retzlaff, Sam Mayer, Brent Cruz, and Taylor Gray, the guys fighting for those last spots. There are 8 through 12 spots here in the O'Reilly series as of right now, which means below the line, you can see the points are kind of right there. William Saulwich in that 13th spot, just outside, looking in, well, he's 7 points out. That can turn in the matter of one race there for him. Raja Karuth back on the outside there in the 14th spot, 20 points out of there. Now, those two guys will be battling for a spot. Can they flip it? My favorite young driver there, Brent Cruz, he's in the chase right now. He's got to keep having good races because if William Saulwich and Raja Karuth have good races, with just a few races remaining, well, they could easily flip into that side of it. To me, Ryan Sieg, the way he's running, I don't see him running his way into the top 12. We'll have to wait and see here. Remember, there's no winning to earn your way in. You have to point your way in this year as they brought back the chase as well. Anthony Alfredo, just another. He fought valiantly to stay in this till the end. Well, 121 points out. Is it doable? Technically, yes. Is it going to happen? Probably not. There. So we have 2 drivers battling for a couple spots here, or 4 drivers battling for those last 2 spots here in the race for the chase here for the O'Reilly series. Hey, the CW, well, they earned 1.25 million total viewers for Saturday's race. Yes, Nielsen panel-only data is what we got there. It is the most watched O'Reilly race at Indianapolis since 2022. That was when it was a road course race and aired on NBC at that time. And I will say this. I enjoy the oval, these NASCAR guys racing on the oval at IMS. I don't need to see the street race there anymore. The road course. Keep it with the oval. It's spectacular. I just like it so much more. I'm just asking you a favor. Keep it the oval. Viewership did peak in the closing laps, 1.521 million total viewers. Of course, seeing Carson Kvapil get his first victory in the O'Reilly Series as well. Now, last year, the race on the same weekend was the Indianapolis race as well. Well, how does it compare? 13% increase in viewership this year over last year in the O'Reilly Series on the CW. That's right. 13% up. Next up, well, you have an off week here this weekend in the O'Reilly Series. No racing this weekend. But then we go to Iowa Speedway coming up Saturday, August 8th for the O'Reilly Series. And we'll have obviously cover that and set you up for that next week on next week's program as well. And then that leads us into Sunday here with the Crown Jewel race, the Brickyard 400 for the Cup Series. A Crown Jewel race is a race where everybody wants to win it. It's a feather in your cap out there. If you're a golf fan, think of it as a major, right? Type of situation. You always want to win the Masters and things. Same thing here. Well, at the end of the race, for a Crown Jewel event, shocker. A part-time young driver that dominated the Truck Series last year, well, he's sitting there in victory lane and kissing those bricks at the start-finish line. That's right, Corey Heim. He held off Christopher Bell and Joey Logano over the final 34 laps. And it was a green flag run there on Sunday to win his second Cup Series race in his 15th start. Keep in mind, he's a part-time driver this year as well. He doesn't get his full-time ride until next year with 2311. Corey Heim is a special driver, folks. His other win, by the way, this year, San Diego Naval Base Coronado a few weeks ago on that road course. He got the win there in the Cup Series. Now, if you've run 2 of your races of 15 running part-time in the Cup Series, I know he ran it before last year in the Truck Series and things. I mean, you're holding off drivers like he did on that 34-lap sprint to the finish there under green. I mean, Corey Heim's a special racer. He is going to step into a Cup car and have a lot of success up there as well next year when he does go to full-time with 2311. He's shown his Cup future is bright already in his short time in the Cup Series. And I can't wait for him to get up there and compete. We're seeing some young blood that is going to be fun to watch. Let's show how Corey Heim won this race. The final lap, Cup 1, please.
Down the back straightaway for the final time.
Coming checker.
Jeff Gordon got his second career victory here in 1994. First ever Brickyard 400. Heim trying to do the same today. Here he is, off of turn 4. It's Heim time in Indy. Corey Heim gonna win the Brickyard 400.
The crew up there in the seats, just unbelievable what he did. I thought for sure Joey Logano was going to catch Corey Heim here in this race, and he could get up to him, just couldn't get past him. After that, you win at the Brickyard 400. Well, we're going to go to you, of course, after the race here. Last race on TNT was here at the Brickyard. Let's go to Cup 2. Corey Heim after the race.
Yeah, that was a damn handful. I was hanging on for dear life once the shade went down and the pace picked up. My car got really loose, and I'd never really been in a lot of clean air throughout the day. So that was the hardest I've ever fought in my life, to just make sure I focused on exits and kept them in dirty air. I'm pretty out of breath. That was a workout, but this is a dream come true. I mean, winning at the Brickyard, I mean, that is unbelievable. Thank you so much, fans, for coming out here. That was awesome. Oh, my gosh. Caught a break early with the pit cycle and just executed all day. Made no mistakes. My pit crew and my team, 2311, did a fantastic job with my Field and Stream Camry. So first race with Field and Stream too. That's awesome. First race, first win. So hope we can keep it going.
Hey, look at the excitement on him, and a guy that's been in victory lane a lot in his young racing career, especially in the Truck Series last year as well. And I'm just telling you, folks, if you're going to start putting money on a driver next year, especially on that 2311 team, move over Tyler Reddick, because Corey Heim is coming quickly for you as well. Let's look at Cup 3 here, which is our finishing order here at the Brickyard 400. Corey Heim, of course, part-time driver, finishes in first, led 58 laps here in this race. He held off Christopher Bell, Joey Logano as well, second and third place for those two drivers. Chase Briscoe led 1 lap in this race, finished fourth. Denny Hamlin, 14 laps led for the 5th spot for him. And Denny Hamlin, I thought he would be able to punch up there at the end and wasn't able to get up there either for that win. Brad Keselowski in 6th spot, Josh Berry in 7th, Ryan Preece in 8th, Carson Hocevar in 9th. And there's a nice little, on a side note, there's a nice battle here of young drivers, Carson Hocevar and Corey Heim. They do not like each other. There was some shenanigans during this race a little bit on what they were battling each other out. That's a young rivalry that's going to be fun to watch here between Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar over the next several years. But Carson Hocevar did lead 31 laps in this race and finished in that 9th spot. Tyler Reddick, of course, Corey Heim's teammate here, finished in that 10th spot as well, led 1 race in this laps as well. Then 11th was Chris Buescher, 12th was Ty Gibbs. Cole Custer comes in 13th, Austin Cindric 14th, Zane Smith, of all people, in the 15th spot as well. Shane Van Gisbergen needs good races here in these ovals to stay in the bubble here for the chase on the positive side. Well, he finished 16th here in the race. I don't know if he keeps doing that, if he's going to be able to stay on the positive side here with a few races remaining for him out there. Alex Bowman, we'll talk about him when we get to the news as well, finished 19th in this race. William Byron, 21st. Ross Chastain down at 23rd. He did lead 5 laps in this race here. Todd Gilliland, when we talk in-season tournament here, that's right, Todd Gilliland finished 24th here. And if you notice, I haven't said Ryan Blaney yet, right? Ryan Blaney here, of course, finishing behind him, 26th spot behind Todd Gilliland. And we'll talk more about it here in just a few minutes for the in-season tournament. But Gilliland getting that $1 million paycheck for winning that as well. Bubba Wallace finished 28th in this race as well. And obviously playoff implications there coming for him. Connor Zilic in his rookie season, we have news on him coming up in the news segment as well. 34th spot for his rookie year in the Cup Series as well. Kyle Larson, 36th in this race, was doing really well, racing toward the front. Rear tire blowout, ran into the wall. Out of this race in lap 43 for Kyle Larson. His bad season continuing to happen. And don't forget his teammate Chase Elliott there in 37th spot in this race as well. Caution flags for this race, 5 caution flags for 27 laps. So you had the 2, of course, stage differences and then some wrecks there. I'm just pointing that out to you because a lot of people jumping on that bandwagon, that opinion I've had for a while now, that caution flags take forever to go back to green. Quite frankly, bore you a little bit out there when you're looking at it at that point. Throw up the championship points for me. This will be Cup 4. What we're looking at right here. Yep. Denny Hamlin, we know he clinched a chase spot, and so did Tyler Reddick. That's been done already. About, 84 points separates Denny Hamlin from Tyler Reddick. Of course, they're battling it out for that regular season championship. 4 races remaining now after Indianapolis for the regular season here in the Cup Series. Ryan Blaney finished 3rd here, clinched a chase spot, and then Ty Gibbs clinching that chase spot with that 4th place spot right now for him. Now, Carson Hocevar, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher there, 133 points or higher, through the 9th. The 10 spots filled by Christopher Bell there, 129 points up for him. Can they get caught and passed and out of this bubble? And technically, yes. Are they? No. Those guys are going to be all playoff bound. Just a matter of where their positioning is. Now, Daniel Suarez in the 11th spot, William Byron in the 12th, 88 points above the cut line. Joey Logano, 65 points up for him. He was able to stay on the positive side, of course, after winning in North Wilkesboro the previous week for him, and a nice finish here as well. I thought he was going to catch him and just couldn't get there. Joey Logano stays in that 13th spot, 65 points from the cut line. Bubba Wallace is shrinking here, folks. He was very safe here a couple weeks ago. Well, he's in the 14th spot now, 60 points above the cut line. SVG, I told you, I don't know if 16 place finishes on these ovals are going to keep you above this cut line. But he's there right now, 15th spot, 57 points above the cut line. Austin Cindric, 38 points above Ryan Preece, which is the first driver on the outside looking in. Eric Jones, 44 points out. Next up, Brad Keselowski, 50 points out. And then you get into the Michael McDowell's there, 76 points out for him as well. I just don't know. I think everybody's going to be safe, barring a disaster with SVG or Bubba Wallace here. I think everybody's going to be safe in the playoffs here, except for Ryan Preece is the one that could slip into the playoffs. It's just a matter of which driver he's able to get past to go into there. Now, and it's just going to come down to with 4 races left, you just chip away if you're Ryan Preece to get to that point as well for him here on the racetrack. Ratings for TNT Sports is for this race. It was their last race of the season. We now are going to switch over to NBC for the couple races outside the bubble before we go into the chase as well, the playoffs. TNT Sports earned a 1.34 rating, 2.384 million viewers for that Sunday's race there at the Brickyard in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yeah, the race was up 8% in ratings, but down 3% in viewership from last year. Yeah. So kind of mixed messages there for that Sunday race as well. Now, the in-season tournament obviously wrapped up this weekend in Indianapolis as well. And Ryan Blaney versus Todd Gilliland was the last 2 drivers here in the in-season race. And the in-season tournament, excuse me. I got to call it properly. Right? The driver team that finished ahead of the other one will win $1 million. Well, Blaney and Gilliland. What happened? Well, Blaney got into some trouble. Ended up costing him this race as Blaney was well ahead of this and dominating it and was going to win the $1 million and the in-season tournament. And then this happened. In season 1, please.
Look at Hocevar right down the middle. He and Gibbs connected. Gibbs trying to come back after that extended stop.
He's in the 12 right there, spinning around.
Blaney into the wall. Think about the in-season challenge. Oh, my goodness.
Stay up high.
Where's the Grillo man? Look at that number 12 car. The 77 gets a push from the 54. Here comes big runs from behind the 42, the 41. Look at the white car, the 42. Gets down in the middle of the sandwich there, turns the 12 around. John Hunter Nemechek into the outside wall.
That's a move that John Hunter doesn't take 2 restarts ago, but this could be the last restart, and John Hunter is trying to make up positions. It's late. It's aggressive. There's no doubt. He dove it in there. Blaney's not going to like it, as he shouldn't. But if you're John Hunter, if you're Jimmy Johnson, I believe you need your driver at that level of aggression.
Yeah, I mean, it was an aggressive move there by a driver trying to get up points and everything to get up there and knock Blaney and cause Blaney to spin around. Blaney was comfortably ahead in the race for the in-season championship. Comfortably ahead of Todd Gilliland. And, of course, as you just saw there, he turned off the nose of John Hunter Nemechek and started that accident and ended up collecting 9 cars in that wreck as well. So that incident gave Todd Gilliland the lead. He was able to hold on to it in that in-season championship. Like I said, that cool $1 million afterwards. I love these in-season tournaments we saw last year. Now, I get it. Ty Gibbs isn't on a small team, right? Gibbs Racing is not a small team. But I like it when these smaller teams, even if it was Ty Gibbs, I like when they're competing for this. $1 million to these types of teams means so much more. Don't get it wrong. All of them need the money. But teams like Todd Gilliland need the $1 million, and it's going to go so much farther for them in terms of competition than it would for Ryan Blaney and Team Penske. So I like the in-season tournament, getting some of these lower tier teams a chance to compete for it. And let's go to Todd Gilliland after the race in season 2, please.
I think for me, the coolest thing has been seeing all my guys, the intensity ramping up over, the first week. It's tough. You look up at the top of this mountain, right, of beating 5 rounds of these great drivers, and it seems almost impossible. Then you start clicking off 1, 2, and then, they start just really digging in and, they push themselves to a new level. So I think that's really cool for all of them, to see that. It was cool for me to see. Yeah, it's just hopefully we can keep this intensity up. I think we always found just a little bit more in all ourselves. So really pumped. To take Front Row Motorsports through 5 rounds of great drivers is really, really cool.
I mean, look, you don't hear Todd Gilliland's voice very often, folks, and you heard it there. And just look how excited he is for the momentum with the way the team fought to get that win as well. Like it a lot for what he did there and his comments there in that in-season tournament in victory for them. Next up for the Cup Series, we're off this week. Then you go to Iowa Speedway coming up Sunday, August 9th here. So not this weekend, following weekend. We'll obviously look ahead to Iowa next week's show here on the Pit Stop as well. So when we come back here on the Pit Stop, well, no racing to look forward to with IndyCar off and all three NASCAR circuits off. Well, let's get into the news around the sport as well. Wrap up this show nice and strong here. Come on back, folks. It's the Pit Stop. And we're back here at the Pit Stop, your weekly racing show where we look at IndyCar and NASCAR's three in the major circuits as well. And well, normally at this time we go into the news and then we look ahead out there to this weekend's racing. Since IndyCar's off and all three national circuits for NASCAR are off, well, there's no look ahead this week. So we're just going to skip that part of it. But we do have a lot of news to talk about. We'll wrap up the show with that. Don't forget, you can catch the show on YouTube, TME Media AZ, on demand. Of course, if you're not a YouTube fan, you can look at Rumble as well. Rumble.com/user/TME Media is where you can find our programming on demand. Every Wednesday by 2 p.m. roughly, it'll be up and posted there for you. Of course, also posted on your favorite podcasting system. Just search the Pit Stop Talk or the Pit Stop Talk into Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Podchaser. I'm probably forgetting one. Google Podcasts, all there. Just search for the name. It pops right up for you, and you can listen to the audio version of the show as well. We appreciate you, however you catch our shows out there. We are working on a website here at TME Media where our programming will also be listed at for you. We're just trying to give you as many options as possible. We have some other ideas coming out your way. So we're just trying to get you some new ideas and other ways to reach you and make it easy for you to listen to our programming or watch it if you'd like to out there. And of course, all of our shows are on demand on Rumble, including The Real Matrix. On YouTube, all of our shows are there except for The Real Matrix. That's only exclusive to Rumble and everything. So join us, catch us, like and subscribe on the podcast systems. Don't forget to follow this show on X as well. The Pit Stop Talk is where you can find us on X. And of course, don't forget also TME Media AZ, where you can find our parent company of all of our programming out there. And we appreciate your support very much there as well. And get into the news of the day, since there's no racing to look forward to here this weekend. Well, next year's Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, we now know it's slated for March 5th through the 7th of 2027. Well, this year, remember, there was the opening race for the Truck Series and IndyCar. Well, we found out this week also that in conjunction with the 2027 weekend headlined by the IndyCar Series, NASCAR's announced also that the Truck Series will make its second appearance on the St. Petersburg Street Circuit, with that race starting and is set for Saturday, March 6th. So we have another Truck Series IndyCar race here beginning of March in St. Petersburg this year, coming up in 2027 as well. I think all accounts are that that was a successful weekend last year in St. Petersburg. So they're running it back as well. We're waiting to find out if they're going to do the run back here in Phoenix, where NASCAR and IndyCar matched up here in Phoenix as well over a weekend. Have to see if they repeat that, but I think good signs are if St. Petersburg's going. We'll have to see, but pretty sure, I'm pretty confident here we might see some more action here in Phoenix for that collaboration as well. Then lots of news out there with drivers moving around and expectations and teams. Front Row Motorsports announced this week Chandler Smith is not going to return for a third season with the team coming up in 2027. Here's the message Front Row Motorsports posted on X. Chandler Smith will not return to Front Row Motorsports in 2027. We would like to extend our gratitude to Chandler for being a great representative of our Truck Series program. The list of accomplishments that he and the 38 team have obtained are impressive, with 4 wins to date over the past 2 seasons. They went on to say, we wish him the best in his continued career path. The team will remain committed to competing at the highest level in the series and contending for championships for the remainder of 2026 and beyond. Additional updates on, Front Row Motorsports went ahead and said additional updates on our 2027 plans will be shared when available, right? Who's going to move into that Truck Series things and race in that car is the question mark moving forward. In 2026 here, Chandler Smith has secured 2 race wins, and obviously secured his spot in the 10-man chase, as we told you earlier here in the program as well. So he's leaving Front Row Motorsports? Well, where's he going? Rumor has it, nothing official. This is going to happen, though, folks. I can tell you that. He's going to be joining the O'Reilly Series with RCR, Richard Childress Racing, for next year. Nothing officially announced as of showtime for where he's going to be officially, but that is the hot rumor out there that you can probably rely on going forward for Chandler Smith. Moving up to the O'Reilly Series next year. Just got to wait for the official announcement coming up as well. You know, speaking of the O'Reilly Series, right? It's all on the CW network exclusively here for the last year and then this year and next year as well. And the CW network and ESPN, they both announced this week that their highly anticipated streaming agreement was going to bring CW Sports live events to the ESPN app. Now it's officially going to launch on Tuesday, August 4th. More than 800 annual hours of CW Sports will be broadcast live on the CW network and then also stream live on the ESPN app for viewers. Now, in order to do that, you have to have the ESPN Unlimited subscription plan. And I do know that YouTube TV just added ESPN Unlimited. I had to pay separate for ESPN Unlimited for all the WWE stuff. Canceled that subscription yesterday and looking forward to just getting that on, saving that money and getting it through the YouTube program. And now the CW can be streamed there as well. So the CW, is the home to all O'Reilly Series races, plus all the other sports that they do out there, coming soon to YouTube TV. I did not see a date. I think the date was like August 4th or something, was the date that I had seen. Yep, Tuesday, August 4th is the date there. First event that's going to happen on YouTube TV with that CW streaming. That's right. NXT, the NXT event that night. Speaking of wrestling, it's going to be the first event shown out there on August 4th coming up. And so you'll be able to watch the O'Reilly races there on the ESPN or YouTube. I'm sorry, the ESPN platform, not YouTube. I don't know why I said YouTube. On the ESPN platform with the unlimited setup. Because I know a lot of people struggle with the CW app. And everything. So I watch it now on YouTube TV. I ended up having to get that and everything. So if you have the ESPN Unlimited, well, you get the CW now. Might be a little easier to watch. Then, other news out there, Jimmy Johnson confirmed that he will compete in the 2027 Daytona 500. Interesting number here that's going. It's going to be his last cup race, by the way, Jimmy Johnson. Well, he's going to race in that race with the number 48. You know the history of Jimmy Johnson and that number? Well, it's the number most synonymous with him when he was winning championships here in the NASCAR circuit. So his final race ever in a Cup car, number 48, Daytona 500 in 2027. Yeah. Now, how's he going to race in 48? 48th is owned by Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports. Alex Bowman's racing in it. We have news on him in just a minute, right? So how is he racing in the 48? Well, Rick Hendrick is doing an extraordinary gesture that does not happen. I'm not going to say at all, but pretty much at all. Very rarely that this happens. Yeah. Not only that, they had to get involved with a partner of the number 48 car, Ally Financial. They've all agreed to loan Jimmy Johnson, the Hendrick Motorsports number 48 car number, for his farewell race with Legacy Motor Club. Because obviously Jimmy Johnson is part owner in Legacy Motor Club at that time. The move will reunite Jimmy Johnson with the number most closely associated with his Hall of Fame career. Now, NASCAR, you can't just swap numbers, folks. NASCAR has approved the one race loan, which obviously will allow the tribute to take place without affecting the driver or owner point standings moving forward. Which then brings me up to the next question. Alex Bowman was in the news this week as well, and we found out he signed a 1-year extension with Hendrick Motorsports, and then he announced he will retire from full-time racing following the 2027 season. So he did sign that 1-year extension and then announced his future plans of retirement at the end of last week, I think, is when he officially did it as well out there. So, there's a lot of question marks around Alex Bowman. Is he going to continue with Hendrick Motorsports and move on? Or is he going to be forced out? Is he going to want to move out? Well, 1-year extension, 1 more year of him racing in that 48 car, by the way, as well. So that begs the question, and we don't have the answer yet. What car number will he be racing in the Daytona 500? We'll have to wait and see which car number he'll get for that one race next year, because obviously Jimmy Johnson will be in that 48 car for that race as well. And then, so that move, Jimmy Johnson retiring, Legacy Motorsports getting the 48 car for a race, Alex Bowman 1-year extension, then announcing his retirement after next season, 2027. But then who's going to run? What number is he going to run for the Daytona 500? All of those are questions out there. And it leads to more questions. Who's going to sign with Hendrick Motorsports to step into the 48 car when Alex Bowman retires after the 2027 season? The rumors are out there that Connor Zilisch, of course, a rookie this year in the Cup Series with Trackhouse Racing. Connor Zilisch has long been touted as one of the NASCAR's hottest prospects. Now, he's had an up and down rookie year, mainly down rookie year at the Cup Series level. He's only 20 years old, and he drives right now the number 88 Chevrolet for Trackhouse is what he's running. But he's one of the early rumored candidates for that seat at Hendrick Motorsports for that 2028 season. Hendrick Motorsports gets the biggest, youngest drivers moving up, them and Joe Gibbs Racing. And Connor Zilisch would be a perfect fit for that Hendrick Motorsports team as well. Well, he's currently racing with Trackhouse. He's under contract with Trackhouse. And in a Monday appearance with SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Trackhouse team owner Justin Marks, well, he kind of addressed the recent conversations of Connor Zilisch and the attention he's receiving with that Hendrick Motorsports position about to open up here in another year here from that point. He addressed it directly, quote, "He's probably coveted for everybody." And of course, he's talking about Connor Zilisch there. And Justin Marks went on to say, he's a very talented driver. He's a very smart young man. He's got a big career in front of him. And I think for us, we are committed to Connor. Connor's committed to us through the end of 2027. And 2028, well, although I'll be here, it'll be here quickly. It's a little too far away, I think, for us to be spending a lot of bandwidth on at the moment. Because what we're trying to solve right now is to get him the experience, get him comfortable. We've got a good relationship with Red Bull and a lot of our other partners on the Chevrolet that he drives. It's important for us to be executing on the agreement and the relationship and partnership that we have now is what Justin Marks said regarding Connor Zilisch rumors. Make no mistake about it. If Hendricks calls you to join his team, you go join Hendrick Motorsports. Now, does Connor Zilic have some loyalty to Trackhouse because they were the ones to bring him up last year into the Cup Series as they continue on? Questions remain on that as well. We'll know sometime in 2027, early in the summertime, mid-summertime probably, what Connor Zilic's plans are and where he's going to go to at that time. But we got a year or so to worry about that out there. And then finally, kind of, I told you earlier, the caution laps that happened over the weekend. And I've always complained about the length of cautions. It's ridiculous when a caution goes. And I understand sometimes you have to clean stuff up, takes a little longer. But you have to go so many laps, open pit road, allow people 2 chances to pit. Then you got to go a couple laps to line everybody up. And it's just a time-consuming process. I did see over the weekend, people are counting the minutes, especially on the caution, or especially on the stage flags, on how long it takes to go back green. At one point on Sunday, I did see one of those stage breaks was 21 full minutes with a caution beforehand. Then the stage break, 21 minutes of no racing. It's ridiculous. People are jumping on this bandwagon here, folks. During the latest episode of the Hauler Talk podcast, Vice President of Racing Communications, Mike Forty, said NASCAR officials started discussions during the Brickyard 400 about tightening yellows in the future. A lot of uproar online about the caution amounts there as well, right? The caution flag flew near the end of the first 2 stages at IMS, and among 5 cautions that lasted for 27 of the race's 160 laps. There wasn't a ton of cleanup involved or anything to that effect, right? He said, quote, "If NASCAR fans are angry at the length of caution periods, I can promise you that NASCAR matches that displeasure." He went on to say, "We want green flag racing, and we want to get it as fast as possible," unquote. He did note that cautions generally consume a minimum of 4 laps around, the 2.5-mile track there at IMS. Well, it's because of the time needed to open the pits, choose positions for the double file restart, and it takes longer to go around at a slower pace under caution. It takes longer to get around the racetrack. So I can understand them, yellow flags being lengthened for the 2.5-miler there. Road courses, yellow flags take forever because there's going to be 2-3-mile race courses, right? I understand that side of it. That doesn't explain why 1.5-mile tracks are long and stuff like that, right? NASCAR could potentially move the location of the Choose V to help eliminate a lap under caution. Yeah, move to the backstretch instead of the right after the start finish line there. Quote, he went on to say, quote, "Maybe there's something there that we can look at where we can choose and then go immediately back to green. But it won't work at every single track," he said. "So there are several things in the hopper. It's something that's on our radar. It's important for us to get back green. We keep stats religiously on the blocks of time between red, yellow, and green flag racing. We're always working to get that green number higher and higher and higher." Well, get started on it because we're not there to watch cars go around slowly under yellow. Yeah. He went on to say stage breaks are a big topic of conversation. He said, "We hear it and we see it," unquote. So let's see if they get that underhand here moving forward. I've always, especially when you're at a race in person, these yellows feel like forever, and especially in the stage breaks. And now people are quantifying it, which is something I never did. It just felt like it, especially late race, right? Getting it into overtime. A wreck happens 10 laps to go, and you're like, overtime's coming. You can go back green in that time frame, folks. In my opinion, you can get it done to get there as well. So, well, obviously, that's all the news out there right now. And with IndyCar and NASCAR's 3 national series off this weekend, well, we have nothing to look forward to in terms of racing as of now. We'll be back next week. Of course, there'll be nothing to look back to, but we'll look ahead to the racing action, getting back on the track. Iowa Speedway for the NASCAR series, and I believe Portland for IndyCar coming up as well. Come and join us next week, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, TME Media AZ, or subscribe to the Rumble page as well, rumble.com/user/TME Media, or your favorite podcast system, however you do that. Hit us up on X as well. Join the conversation with us at the Pit Stop Talk during the races. Also, just follow TME Media AZ while you're there as the parent company of what we do around here. We'll see you next week, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the Pit Stop.